Good afternoon, friends. Thank you for joining us on Let's Chat. It's a little rainy day, but we need the rain for the flowers. Remember this, yesterday was a mystery. Tomorrow, as it was history, tomorrow is a mystery. Today's a gift from God. It's called the present. I have the most wonderful, amazing, smart lady with me today. You're going to love her as much as I do. She's a friend, a neighbor, and a guest. And her name is Barb Patterson. Please welcome Barb Patterson.
Hi, Judy.
It's good to have you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
What would you like? Would you tell us kind of about yourself?
Okay. I was born in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and you don't meet too many people that are born in Wyoming. And then I went to college in Oklahoma, and also my master's is from Miami University. After college, I got a job teaching in Dayton, Ohio, and that's where I met my husband, Harold.
Wonderful.
He was an engineer in a consulting firm there. And so after we got married, we bought a house in Huber Heights. And so we raised our two daughters in Huber Heights and lived there really for the rest of the time until we moved to Otterbein, which was about 19 years ago.
She is a long timer.
I am a long timer, and many things here on campus were not here when we moved here. There was no gallery, no Terrace Place, no Aurora, no Creative Arts Center it was in the basement, and no Life Enrichment Center. Wow. So I've seen a lot of construction and a lot of changes, over the years. But still love Otterbein, even after 19 years. It's still
Wonderful.
a good place.
Where do you live now?
I live on Swallow.
Oh, you're my neighbor.
I am your neighbor.
Why would I ask that? I just said that.
We started out on Nightingale
okay.
and lived there for about 10 years and then decided to downsize a little bit. And so we moved to Swallow, where I met my wonderful neighbors, and stayed there. My husband ended up in healthcare and was in Newcomer for about a year, and he passed away 2 years ago. But I've stayed on Swallow with my cat, Crystal.
We don't see too much of her.
No, she's pretty much stays in the house, and that's the way I want it, so that's better for her. We have two daughters. My oldest daughter, Lynn, is a teacher. She teaches multi-handicapped children. Wow. And this is her 28th year of teaching. And she happens to be raising her two granddaughters. The one girl is 9 years old, will be 10 next month, and the other one is 6 years old. So she has a very, very busy life. My other daughter, Lori, is a writer. She has her own freelance writing company that she works from home, and she and her husband Alex live in Mainville. And Alex is a physician's assistant, and he's right now in kind of administration of staffing emergency rooms and so forth. And they have two sons, my grandsons. The oldest one, Will, is a junior at University of Alabama in Huntsville. And the other boy, Ben, is at Bowling Green University. And the fun thing about him is that this week he will be driving out to Colorado because he got a summer job as a camp counselor at the YMCA camp on Estes Park. So he will be gone all summer out west. So
what a beautiful state.
Oh, it's going to be lovely. And I told him I want him to buy a cowboy hat. So I want him to show up with a cowboy hat when he comes back. So that's kind of the background of my family.
Well, that's very interesting.
And my dad was a barber, and mom was a stay-at-home mom and a 4-H leader. And she taught a lot of sewing, including me and all the other girls in her 4-H group. When Harold and I moved here to Otterbein, we came mostly because it was in between the two girls. It was positioned, so we were about the same distance between both girls. And we liked the fact that it was church-related and also that it had continuing care. Yes. And that has ended up being a real blessing for us. As far as some of my hobbies and things that I like to do, especially here at Otterbein, probably the long-term thing that I've been involved in is the handbell choir. And I had played handbells and learned handbells at our former church. And so I was delighted when we were coming to Otterbein to know that they had a handbell choir. And so I joined as soon as I could, and have just stayed with it. So I think I've probably played handbells maybe 25 years, something like that. And just this last year, Jenny Longmire, who is our director, got the idea of having a quartet of just 4 handbell ringers. And so we tried that, and I really like it. It's a lot of fun. And we're going to play for the adjusted church service once again in June and then again in July. So then we'll be back on our regular handbell.
It was very beautiful Sunday.
And I thank you.
It was very beautiful.
Thank you. I love ringing the bells. It's fun. And it used to be that the choirs that I was in back from Sulphur Grove, where we came from, sometimes we would go to handbell conventions or handbell programs, and we'd get to hear a lot of other choirs, and that was always inspiring because they were really good. It was a good way to learn about the different choirs. Another thing that I'm involved in here at Otterbein is the Prayer Shawl Ministry, which is a group of us who knit or crochet shawls to be given freely to people who may need a little special attention. Maybe it's a health concern or some kind of sadness in their family, or it could be a joy of some kind. And the shawl group provides the needles and the yarn and instructions if you need it. And then we ask the pastors to deliver the shawls, although we also will deliver them. And I might add, if any of you have a friend or a neighbor or someone that you feel could use just an extra little bit of support from us, if you'll just contact me or Jan Putman or Barbara Ashmore or Jenny Frazier, and give us the name of who you would like to have receive one of these shawls, we'll make sure that happens. I don't remember the exact number, but I think we're close to over 800 shawls that we have made and given away. So that's a
lovely thing to do.
It's
and
fun
someday
to do
I'm
too.
going to find time to come make one.
Okay, all right. Well, we would
I've said
like
that for 2 years.
Well, we have people who it takes them maybe 6 months to make one, and we have others. Carolyn Bonecutter is a very fast knitter, and we could count on her to make quite a few shawls. So she was a good one. I also enjoy anything to do with sewing. I've made several quilts. I made a couple of t-shirt quilts for my grandsons, and I like making things for the home. Like I made a set of placemats for my daughter and table runners and things like that. I like to do that. And I do enjoy handwork, hand sewing. I'm really enthralled with embroidery, and I like to teach embroidery, and I like to do embroidery. So that's...
Don't you make some type of necklaces?
I have, yes.
Tell us about that, because I don't know too much.
Well, in the Creative Arts Center, somehow we ended up with balls and balls of a special yarn that is kind of has like holes, kind of lattice work. And there's a way to knit through that. And you can make a really long string, and then you put it all together and you make necklaces out of it. And people seem to really like them. They're lightweight, and you wouldn't, just looking at them from a distance, you wouldn't really know that they weren't beads or pearls or something like that. But it's just the yarn. It's just the special yarn. And we still have that yarn somewhere, I'm sure. So if somebody wants to make one, I'll show you how to do it. And I also enjoy a lot of the things that Jana puts together from the Creative Arts Center. She's so creative, and she's such a good organizer.
Yes.
And first time I have ever done watercolor painting, and I like that. And she also has the card class, so I enjoy making the greeting cards for people. And then she has the classes to make tray favors for the healthcare areas, and that's always fun. And people seem to have a really good time doing it. And then I'm sure the healthcare people like getting those special little favors for different events and things. So that's fun. And Jana has a lot of great ideas, and sometimes puts together tours of museums like the Art Institute or the Cincinnati Art Museum. And of course, right now there's hopes for enough people to sign up for the trip to Chicago.
I'm on
Are
that.
you going to, Judy? Oh, that's terrific. I know you'll have a wonderful time.
Oh, I've never been there.
Chicago's a beautiful city. My husband's parents lived just south of Chicago. And when our daughters were little, we used to go visit Grandma and Grandpa, but we'd always take a day to go into the city, and we'd do something different with the girls. It was the Field Museum, or maybe the aquarium, or art museum, or something. And at Christmas time, we would try to have lunch at one of the big dining rooms there. And so I think you'll have a wonderful time.
Well, I think we only need 5 more people, and
Oh,
Kevin's on vacation, or
good.
I'm talking into going.
Yeah, well, if you have an interest in that, it sounds like a wonderful trip. So
Sounds like they have a lot planned.
Yes.
The cruise on the river,
Yes.
and tour of the town.
Yes.
That's what I like.
And that's the way to go, because you'll see a lot more than you would if you just drove up there by yourself.
Yes.
So there's it should be a beautiful time of year. When we used to take the girls up there, it was often in the winter, and it was freezing cold.
Yeah, it would
Chicago's known for being windy and cold, and but you'll have a great time this time of year. It'll be a lot of fun. Another thing that I like to do, and I encourage others to do, is I love to read. And I know we have a great library here, and the librarians are always really helpful to help you find the kind of book that you would like to read. And I also encourage you, if you want to expand your reading resources a bit, the Lebanon Library downtown has a lady named Laura Payton, who is an off-site librarian, and she has a van. And you may have seen it at our house.
I have.
And she will come to your house, and she will bring books to you, and then she'll come back later in a week or 2 weeks, however long you want to keep the books. And she really, once she gets to know the type of books you like or the author that you like, she's very good at picking out books. Or you can, sometimes I will send her an email and tell her I'd love to have a book on, container gardening, for example, or something. And she always seems to find the right book and brings it. And so I enjoy reading, and I like, I can also put a book on my Kindle, but I will be old-fashioned enough that I like a real book.
I do too. I do too. And I like a hardback.
Yes.
I like to hold it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So I do enjoy reading. I like having access to all the different types of books and so forth.
Do you have to have a library card for the library in Lebanon to do that?
I think you do, but it's very easy to get a library. Oh yeah, it's very simple, because they want lots of readers. So they do. And they have a very nice IT department down the basement, the lower level, and the people down there are very knowledgeable. So if you want to put a book on your Kindle or on your iPad, they will show you how to do it, and they'll work through the, your difficulties in learning how to do that and so forth. They're very, very good.
So you do have to go in to get the card.
I think so, although it's possible that the library lady could bring whatever. I think you need a signature probably, but I think she would come to your house and take care of that for you.
Well, we have a lot of people here that are new and from other places.
Yes.
You could maybe tell them kind of where the library is.
The downtown library is right on the corner of, it's 63, and I don't know what the name of that, Main Street.
Right.
And it's right downtown across the street from the Golden Lamb. So you would be able to find that. That's the standard place in Lebanon. The Golden Lamb is there. And the library also has attached to it, in a separate building, is a very nice museum.
I heard that.
And a very interesting museum. And some of our shaker looms, as a matter of fact, are a part of that museum. And that's another thing that I have enjoyed here at Otterbein. I'd never done it before, except maybe in 4-H, making some kind of a woven mat or something. But I got interested in weaving on the different looms that we have. Some of them are old shaker looms that have been here for a long, long time, and some of them are newer looms. And I've enjoyed that. We were making mats for the homeless out of plastic bags, and some of you may have seen those. And some people have made table runners and placemats and scarves and so forth. So that's kind of a growing hobby, and we'd like to have more people involved. If people want to come on Friday afternoons at 11 o'clock, we try to get the Weaver group together and do some.
I think Peggy did one.
Did she? Yes,
And
I think she did.
Yes, and I was going to do it, but I still have that on my list.
Well,
I have a long list.
we have a number of people that were in a group for a while, and we made we called them mug rugs. And everybody made, 1 or 2 little mug rugs to keep their coffee cup on.
That's nice.
And I think people really enjoyed that. There's really, in weaving, I think the biggest challenge is threading the loom. It's called dressing the loom. It's very intricate, and it has to be set up right, or else your pattern falls apart, or the loom won't work right. And so threading the loom is a real challenge for some people. Now, other people love it. That's the thing they like the best. Mm-hmm. So it's a good thing we're all different.
That's
because we
correct.
can do it different ways. I think that's pretty much the activity things. I try to attend different activities and dinners and fun things here, and occasionally we'll go to visit someone in healthcare or take a prayer shawl to them or something. Another thing that kind of occupies my time for a little bit is that I am one of the delegates to the Otterbein Board of Directors.
Oh.
There are several Otterbein residents who are on various committees with the Board of Directors, and then there are 2 of us that have voting privileges, and it's a 2-year term. And I'm beginning my 2nd year, so this will be my final year for that. We meet 4 times a year, and of course our purpose is the overseeing and the direction and so forth of Otterbein campus. And one of the most interesting things that I got to do with the Board of Directors in the fall, I believe it was probably in October, November, there was a general meeting of all the Otterbein boards from all the Otterbeins, clear all the way up through Marblehead. And that was very interesting because you could learn how they operate their Otterbein.
Yes.
And they would ask us questions, and we could find out how things were going with them. And it was really very interesting. And I enjoy being on the board. It's fun, and I'm learning a lot. And I think probably the thing that I'm most interested in as far as the board membership is that I am continually surprised and pleased at how smart and capable the other leaders are that are in charge of all the departments and things at Otterbein. It's very reassuring to know people are really in the know. They really know what they're doing.
And they really seem to like what they do.
They do.
They're always pleasant and friendly and helpful.
Very helpful, yes. And everything is all out in the open and above board, and it's fun to see progress and to see plans and projections, and to see what we've already accomplished and what the challenges are, and then how to move forward and all of that. So Chuck Dersch was the other voting board member with me, but he finished his 2-year term, so he went. The last meeting was his final meeting. So that's pretty much how I spend my time here at Otterbein.
It sounds like you're very busy and you accomplish a lot.
Well, it's fun, and it's interesting. I love the people, and there's always something new going on. So.
Well, the Senior Olympics is coming up in September, and it's going to be at St. Mary's. Have you been there?
I have been to St.
I've never
Mary's.
been there.
I was there. Harold and I one time drove up there just to see what it was like. That was before we came to this Otterbein, thinking that maybe that would be a possibility. Neither one of us are water people, and it wasn't that close to our daughters. And, I mean, it was a lovely place, but it wasn't for us, But
Well, we're very blessed you chose us.
well, thank you.
Because
I
you've been
feel
a
blessed
very
to live here.
addition with all the activities, and
It's,
I always tell people you don't have to be bored. Find something that sounds good and try it.
Right.
And if it's not right, try something else.
That's right. That's
So-
right. Don't sit home and and stew about things. If you can make a difference,
Yes.
go ahead and do that.
And
Find a
volunteering is
friend.
so important here.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Bec-
And it's a great for people who move here. It's of course. I always recommend find a small group that you're interested in and get involved with there to learn a few names and a few people. And then you can expand to another group and then another group, and before long you feel like you know more people.
Right.
But now there are so many people that I don't know, lots and lots of new residents and so forth. But gradually I'll learn
Oh
them.
yeah, oh you will, and they'll all know you after today. So
Well,
this has been wonderful.
well, thank you,
thank
Judy.
you so much for coming.
You're very
You're a
welcome.
beautiful lady,
Oh,
and I
thank you.
enjoy having you, and a great neighbor on Swallow Court.
Yes, that's our court.
So I'll say goodbye, and would you like to say goodbye to the audience?
Bye. Thank you for having me, and I hope all of you have a wonderful day and a wonderful month of May.
Absolutely. Bye everybody. Bye Kevin.
Bye, Kevin.